Okay, I'm going to make a few recordings just for the prep assessment test, okay? So I think as long as you get understand this material, that's pretty much it for your first 2 weeks, okay? Right, now this isn't college algebra material, these are foils, if you remember your foils, okay? Remember first, outer, inner, last. So I'm not going to do too many of these. Think about x times x is x squared, negative 11x, plus 8x. Okay, if I FOIL that, I'm going to get x squared, 8x, take away 11x, that's negative 3x, and finally negative 88. So look at some of those, okay? Look at some of the videos on those. I'm not going to spend too long on these because this isn't college algebra. If I do this one, again, first is x squared. The outer is going to be negative 6x, the inner positive 6x. Can you see that will cancel? So the first is x squared, and the last is negative 36 because the outer and the inner cancelled. Okay, again, think about this. Now, what I really want to get to, and what you'll see on the test, is question 3. Okay, x minus 2 squared. Now, the mistake that people make on this is they just square the x and square the number. Well, you don't. Okay, x minus 2 squared. Please think of it like you would do a FOIL. So we'll completely do this one. Okay, if you weren't too sure about the first two. Okay. Now notice here, negative 2 and negative 2, okay, which is different to the first one which had plus 6 and minus 6, which is why the outer and the inner cancelled, that one there. If I do the FOIL here, okay, first is x squared. The outer is negative 2x. The inner is negative 2x. And the last is positive 4, okay, negative 2 times negative 2. Can you see if I combine like terms in the middle? Negative 2x, another negative 2x is negative 4x, okay, and then still plus 4. And that is what you get for that. So please remember that one. Every semester, everybody always makes mistakes, okay? FOIL it. Okay, next one, next slide. Right, factoring, okay. People find factoring a bit difficult, so what we're doing here is this. This is just looking to factor out the greatest common factor. And if the homework says just give the greatest common factor, you don't have to fully factor it, you're just looking for the greatest common factor. For me to factor this completely, I need to find the greatest common factor. So I'm thinking to myself, what will both of these terms divide by? 40 and 35, they'll both divide by 5. Now then, x squared and x fourth. Now actually the letters are actually the easiest ones because you just factor out the smallest one, which in this case is x squared. And the reason for that is think about the x fourth term. I can divide x fourth by x fourth or x cubed, but I can't do that with the x squared. I can only divide it by x squared or an x or a 1 if you want, okay? So x fourth and x squared, I've got to pick the x squared. Again, as long as the x term is in every term, the x part of it. Right, now then, okay, so if that is what I can factor out, let's do it. Okay, let's do the division. 40 divided by 5 is 8. x4 divided by x2, remember when you divide you subtract exponents, so that'll give me x squared. Plus, right, 35 divided by 5 is 7, and that's it, because x squared divided by x squared, you can think of it as a 1, if you need to, or you can think of it as cancelled. There you go, that's the answer. Don't worry about question 5, factor by grouping. You can look for factor by grouping if you want to. That's called factor by grouping. 4 terms. Okay. But don't worry, it's not on the test, and I'll deal with that kind of later. Right, question 6 and question 7 are your classic factoring trinomials. Okay. Right. X squared. To get an x squared, think about if you had to do a FOIL, it's going to be that. That'll give you the x squared if you multiply back. Now then, to get the numbers, alright? 2 numbers. Negative 44 when you multiply, because that's like saying you're doing the L part of a FOIL. Negative 44 when you multiply, positive 7 when you add. And you think to yourself, okay, that's positive 11 and negative 4. Okay, there you go. If you multiply those two numbers, you'll get negative 44. If you add them, you'll get 7. On to this one down here. Again, it's another trinomial with just a simple x squared. So x and x. When I multiply that, I'll get x squared. Right, 2 numbers. Negative 56 when you multiply, but negative 1, think of that as negative 1, when you add. And that is negative 8, positive 7. Okay, so we'll call it quits for that one. I'll do another video for the rest.